Right guys, today this is a raw Zilla. I'm talking about the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. What I love about it, what I hate about it. Well, we'll start off with the hates first. So straight off my intro music, we'll talk about what I dislike about the Note 8, what irritates me, and we'll take it from there guys. Right guys, if any of you saw my Note 8 unboxing video, you're going to know it's one of those devices I've been looking forward to the most for the whole year. In fact, probably longer than that. In Europe and the UK, a lot of people are still using their Note 4s because unfortunately we didn't get the Note 5 and we all know what happened to the Note 7. So let's start with what I so far dislike about the Note 8, and this is in no particular order, but it's something I wanted to throw out there. First thing, battery. I am not getting on well with the battery. Just me keeping it real guys, and I might shock some of you out there, but it's just my honest opinions and my experiences. Note 8 battery life. What am I getting? I'm getting around 6 hours screen on time and around about, it varies from 14 hours to 18 hours of standby time. Is that good? Yes, it's good. Is it outstanding? No. By comparison, my S8 Plus gives me around about 9 hours of screen on time with around 18 hours of standby time, which is a big difference. It's not like we're talking half an hour of difference. We're talking about a big difference in screen on time by 33% more. No, well, 50% more, you could say. I'm tired, my math sucks, but there you go. I did a video about the Snapdragon S8 Plus and the Exynos S8 Plus. I'll leave a link at the end of this video. You can watch that if you haven't seen already. Proving why the Snapdragon variant is actually better than the Exynos variant, and how the 6 GB of RAM makes a difference. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link at the end, so stay tuned for that. So battery life, it's okay, it's good enough, but it's not, for most people it'll be fine, but for me it just doesn't give me enough battery power or life as I'm used to. By example, my iPhone 8 Plus gives better battery life. My HTC U11 with 3000 mAh battery gives me more screen on time. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. Second thing I'm disappointed with is the single mono speaker at the bottom of the device. Why, Samsung, are you still not going to dual speaker setup? It's about time. It really is about time you moved up. You did it on a budget device you released in Asia last year, the C9 Pro. Why haven't you done it with the Note 8 or the S8 Plus? So that's a disappointment to me. It's a very good mono speaker, but again, it doesn't compare to what the U11 the speakers sound like. It doesn't compare to how the iPhone 8 Plus speakers are. So that's a irritation to me. And for someone who watches a lot of video like I do on my phone, that would have been nice, but they just didn't include it. Why, I don't know. I do not know. So, unfortunate, but true. Now let's talk about storage options. Why in the Western market, yet again, have we been given, by Western market I mean Europe, America, Australia, why have we been given 64 gig storage option and that's it? When in Asia they have a 128 gig version and a 256 gig variant too. Is it a deal breaker? No, but it's irritating and annoying that we don't get those options. Why? Why, Samsung? Do you know people, if they're going to pay the prices you charge for a Note 8 for the 64 gig, they will pay a little bit more, $100, $200 more to get the bigger memory version. They just would. So what you're doing is you're losing money. Let's be honest. You're losing money, Samsung, by not doing that. Because even if you release it now, a bigger variant, the people who would have bought it at the beginning, they're not going to bother losing money on a 64 gig Note 8 in order to get a 256 gig version. So that's another irritation for me personally. So let's move on from that. Let's talk about the price. It is getting up there now. It's getting expensive. I know you get the decks in the UK but why did we in Europe not get the same courtesy as our American cousins where we get the Note 7 discount? That's not right, Samsung. Are you saying you don't want our custom? And I'm a massive Samsung fan. You can call me a Samsung fanboy if you want, but it's just God's honest truth what I'm talking about. Why have we not in Europe, and we're paying the most for our Note 8, not been offered the discount? Even in Australia, they're giving out under-counter discounts, $250 or whatever. We get nothing. We get a DeX. That really irritates me to hell. It really annoys me with a company when you've got so many loyal customers that you do that to us in Europe. So that's another irritation. I know this is sounding very negative, but I'm going to come to all the good points in a minute, so bear with me, guys. And the fifth thing that really irritates me is the color options. Now, hand on heart, I'm lucky. This time in the UK, we were given the black and the maple gold option from day one. I'm happy about that. And we were offered the dual SIM version, which is what I got. I actually like the gold version more than I thought I would. Cameras and photos and whatever don't do it justice. In America though, you guys are only given the black and the orchid grey, which I know upsell a lot of people. And a lot of people are just settling, they're just making do for it because they haven't got any other option. But how about if you offered everyone all the color options everywhere in the world on launch Samsung? How about doing that? I thought I wanted the blue. But you know, honestly, I am happy with my gold. I don't think I would change it for the blue. I think I prefer it to the blue. But what about those people who want blue and can't get it? See where I'm going with this? And I'm not being fanboyish about it. I'm not bashing the device. I love the device. I still think it's probably the best. And this is just my opinion. It's probably the best Android device out in 2017. And I don't think there's anything else that will beat it. I really don't feel that. It's the best overall device. Best overall device. It's not the king of everything. So they're the main things that really, really irritate me about the Note 8, which have upset me a little bit. What do you guys think? Right, guys. Let's talk about the things I love about the Note 8 so far. Number one, without a shadow of a doubt, is the S Pen and the productivity of the device. Nothing beats it, hands down. In the mobile phone world, nothing beats the Note 8 as a work beast. When it comes to spreadsheets, split screen, S Pen functionality, signing your signature to documents, nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. And that's what Samsung know. They know it destroys other devices. I mean, its closest competition is the iPhone 8 Plus. I'd say that's their closest competition, period. I don't think they have much other competition. And the iPhone 8 Plus doesn't come close to what the Note 8 can do in productivity. And the S Pen, that's why in Europe so many people kept their Note 4s until the Note 8 came out. They actually, and believe me, you'd be shocked. The Note 4 after all this time still getting security patch updates on a monthly or 6-week basis. It's still getting updates. That's how killer a Note device is. So that's one thing. My number one love is the S Pen productivity tool, the power of the beast. Second thing I love, 6 gigs of RAM. Finally, Samsung, finally, and I proved this, in a video. Again, I'll leave a link at the end of this video on the screen, so watch it. How 6 gigs of RAM makes a big difference over 4 gigs of RAM in a device like a Samsung device. What do I mean by this? Okay, not all phones are made equal. You all know that already, okay? Not all phones have the same features. We know that, okay. Where a device I feel needs 6 gigs of RAM, regardless of what, and I've proven I can go over 4 gigs of RAM on a Samsung device. I've proven it in that video that I did. I tell you what doesn't need more than 4 gigs of RAM. Any Nexus device, any Pixel device, any iPhone, OnePlus doesn't need it. It has it, but it doesn't need it. Because a Motorola device doesn't need more than 4 gigs of RAM. I don't think a HTC U11 or U Ultra needs more than 4 gigs of RAM. Certain devices, I would say, like an LG V30, which doesn't, unfortunately. It's only coming with 4 gigs of RAM from what I've heard. Or any Samsung flagship, they need 6 gigs of RAM and above. And the reason behind that, from all the testing I've done, is the number of built-in features in those flagships. Sorry guys if you can hear motor vehicles going past, I apologize, but look what Samsung brings to the table. It's got its wireless charging, it's now got dual cameras, it's got iris unlock, face unlock, fingerprint unlock, pattern unlock, pin unlock, Samsung Pay, it's got the Edge features and functions, it's got the S Pen features and functions, it's got a big 6.3 inch Super AMOLED 2K. It's not exactly 2K, but you get what I'm saying. It's got HDR. Is it HDR I'm talking about? Or Dolby or something on the screen. I'm not going to get technical about this. That'll be more for my final review. It's got Samsung have their own apps in there, like Samsung Mail, S Health. You've got the VR headsets, you've got the Gear 360, you've got the Gear S3. It's got a lot of an ecosystem built around it. And it needs 6 gigs to power all that. Not to power it, but to give it room to breathe. I don't want to get into too much depth. That's what my other video was about. So I really like the fact they put 6 gigs of RAM in there. It's massively helpful. I actually like... I would have preferred, I think, the Snapdragon 835 Note 8 version, but I've got the Exynos. Well, I'm pretty sure I've got better battery life. What else do I like about it? Well, third thing is got to be the screen. I don't know who was the body, but there's a professional body that voted the Note 8 as having the best screen in any mobile device ever built. It gets super bright, over 1,000 nits. You can see it in any conditions. Blazing hot sun, dark rooms, whatever, cars, reflection. You throw it at it, you can see the screen, and I love it. I like the 18.5:9 aspect ratio. I really enjoy using that. I do crop the picture up to fill the screen, but there are some times when I don't need to do it and it automatically fills the screen, which I love. I love that widescreen, big screen experience. So I really like that. That's the screen is definitely in my top 5 of things I like about it. I like the fact they kept the headphone jack, because the headphone jack on the Exynos version now uses a dedicated DAC, not the one that the Snapdragon 835 uses, which is built into the chipset. The Exynos phone uses, I think it's a Cirrus or a Wolfson DAC. I think it's Cirrus, something like that. They're a hi-fi company, very hi-fi audiophile quality equipment they build, and the DAC is phenomenal. The headphone amp could do with more power, but the DAC is phenomenal. I'm telling you, and get the right headphones like my Sennheisers I use, the HD 599s. I don't know, 98s, whatever. I've got them over there. They sound fantastic with the Note 8. The Exynos version, a lot of people don't realize it. A lot of YouTubers are testing the Snapdragon variant. So it's not as loud as an LG flagship, but the sound quality to my ears is more detailed and sounds better. So that's fourth thing I love about it. Fifth thing I love about it is, as I said, the ecosystem. I mentioned it. I've got a Gear S3 Frontier watch. I've got a Gear 360 camera. I've got the VR headset. I've got my Samsung U-Flex headphones. I've got Samsung Level Pro on-ear headphones. And I just love all that. Oh, and I've got a Samsung Galaxy Tab S3. So I love how they all link to each other. Very Apple-ish, but more advanced, I would say, because of the number of things you have to play with. And I love it. I like uniformity amongst my equipment, and I like uniformity across my OS. So I really, really do like that. Alright, I'll tell you what else I really love, and this might shock some of you guys out there. I actually love Samsung's apps. I really do. Their S-Health app is probably my favorite health app out of all of them. Their email app is my most favorite email app out of all of them, even the ones you can get on Play Store. The Samsung Internet, that's my favorite internet app out of all of them. There's a lot of... Oh, and Bixby. I love Bixby. I like Bixby Voice. I like the information Bixby gives me. And this is just me being honest. And I don't normally use, like, Siri on the iPhone 8 Plus is probably... I don't like it personally. It's okay, but it's very dated for me. I'd say Google is the second best. But the rest of them are pretty mediocre, like Cortana and all this stuff. It's just... So Bixby is a big deal as well. And again, that's a Samsung app. Or part of Samsung's ecosystem, if you like. And a lot of people are going to be like, why not Gmail? Why don't you like... Because of the functionality within those apps and what I can do with them. That's what I love about Samsung's apps. And they don't crash. They do not crash on me. I've never had a crash yet. And here's food for thought. The iPhone 8 Plus, okay? People lead you to believe, oh, these apps are incredible. They never crash, it never lags, nothing goes wrong with it. Rubbish. I used to believe that. And because I've been using the iPhone 8 Plus as a daily driver, putting it through its test the way I use it, doesn't mean you use it the same. The Apple Mail app crashes on me. It has done at least 8 times in 3 days of usage so far. It just literally crashes, it freezes, I have to close it, I have to wait. Google Plus doesn't work particularly well with this. It doesn't clear you clear the notifications in the app, you come out, the little icon on the, or badge, should I say, on the Google Plus icon hasn't cleared. You have to go back in the app, refresh it, then come out, then it clears it. That irritates me. I've had a couple of occasions where I'm using WhatsApp and I've got a screenshot of it, which I'm not going to show you now. Where I bring up the keyboard and you can see the typing bar in the middle of the screen, but the keyboard is invisible. And there is no keyboard there, it just hasn't come up. And again, I have to come back out, close the app down, swipe all the apps closed, go back in, wait a minute or two, and then it will start working. That's just some. eBay is another one which has its issues. Telegram, there's no dark option in the Telegram app on iOS. So I'm just, as an example, I'm just giving you, don't believe all the hype you hear about iOS or Android. Each has their faults, each have their plus points, each have their negative points. So the apps on the Note 8 They work great, especially the Samsung apps. I really, really enjoy using those. I really do. They're the major things that I really like so far about my Note 8. So you've had my 5 hates, but you've also had my, I don't know, let's say 5 likes so far. So let me know in the comments below, guys. As I said, what do you guys think? And I'm using this thing for 30 days as my daily driver, the iPhone 8 Plus, to really put it through its paces to see if I can actually live with this phone and use this phone. Anyway, that's enough. I'm tired. I'm now going to film a video talking about my first 3 days of usage with the iPhone 8 Plus. So click on that if you like. Hit that subscribe button down there or here, whatever it is. Give me a thumbs up. Share the video on all your social media. And this is Zilla saying take care. Thank you for your support and joining me. I'm nearly at 10,000 subs. So keep helping me get there, guys. And I'll see you all again real soon. Peace and bye for now.